Hare Krishna. Welcome to all of you. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. I have an interesting topic I want to speak about, at least to begin speaking about. And that is the topic of how to understand, this is a form of Maya, how to understand Prabhupada's instructions by understanding Prabhupada's mood, because sometimes his instruction, or what appears to be his instruction, or Shastric instruction, doesn't always correspond to his mood. And if we take some instructions literally, without considering Prabhupada's own feelings within the context of application, we could come up with the wrong idea. This is very important. And this is being framed within the context of Maya, because this is a form of Maya. But first, we're going to chant. Hare Krishna. So, we are broadcasting off my computer, and I think the sound is okay. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Is that okay? Volume-wise, can you let me know? Last time it was distorting because I was going through the phone. Anyway, I think this is okay. If it's not, just send a message. We'll change something. Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari. Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradari. Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari. Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jasodanandana Brajajanaranja. Jasodanandana Brajajanaranja. Jasodanandana Brajajanaranja. Jasodanandana Brajajanaranja. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Okay, time to dance. Hold on. Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari. Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Bhanachari Jamuna Tira Bhanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Go Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. So I want to begin with a story. Some of you have heard this story, but I want to describe the details of the story because the real insight is in the details. So this takes place, I believe it was 1976 in Los Angeles. I think I was actually there when it took place. The Jumuna and the other devotees in England made the Govinda prayers in 1970, and they sent it to Prabhupada, and he really liked it. Excuse me. And then, prior to that time, we were actually chanting the Govinda prayers every day before class. Not that melody, because that melody hadn't been developed. And Prabhupada had asked us to chant them, and he said Lord Chaitanya chanted them every day, so it became a ritual. We chant a few verses before Bhagavatam class, or in those days, we didn't have Bhagavatam class, we had Bhagavad Gita class in the morning and in the evening. So when Prabhupada heard that, he really liked it. We were told he heard it, he was crying, feeling some ecstasy, meditating on Krishna, and also feeling the devotion. I think we can understand he was feeling the devotion and dedication of the devotees who made the recording, and also the fact that George Harrison was there, who was very dear to Prabhupada, and he was dear to Prabhupada, Prabhupada dear to him. So Prabhupada at that time asked that this be played in the temple at the time every morning, and then it became played at the time of greeting of the deities. And any of you who joined after this time are very accustomed to this because this is the standard. So some brahmacharis got together and wrote a letter to Prabhupada about this song because they felt it would be more transcendental, more purifying, and better if Prabhupada were chanting it because they were brahmacharis, and so every morning they're greeting the deities, and now they're listening to a woman singing. And they're also listening, I don't know if you noticed, but there's bass, there's organ, there's guitar, either guitar or harpsichord, I think guitar, drums. It's, bass, guitar, and drums, and organ, that's rock and roll. Those are the instruments of rock and roll. Hard rock, soft rock. So, so they were saying, we don't want to hear a woman's voice. And, this is it's just modern pop music. And the reason they wrote that is because in a purport, Prabhupada was talking about how nowadays it's very popular. Women singing has become very popular. I think he was referring to specifically movies. And he went on explaining that for a renunciate, it's not good to hear the singing of a woman. It can, they become attracted to the beautiful voice, their minds become agitated, and so forth. So when they read that purport, then they decided, well, we would like it, at least at this temple, if we didn't have to listen to a woman, because after all, what you said in the purport is that as renunciates, brahmacharis, vanaprastha, and sannyas, it's a subtle fall down if Prabhupada said, to appreciate the beautiful face of a woman for a renunciate, or for a renunciate, to appreciate the singing of a woman is a subtle fall down. Okay, so all you grihastas, there's no problem for you. You're already fallen, you don't have to worry. Sometimes we joke like that. But in a sense, grihastas are immune because they're already surrounded by the beautiful face and the beautiful voice of their wife and daughters. So it's part of the ashram, and they're, in one sense immune to it, being surrounded by it and dealing with it. So, the general principles, brahmachari shouldn't associate with a woman. This seemed like a kind of, subtle association you appreciate. Not that we don't appreciate women, but appreciate the physical aspects of women, which means it's kind of like, basically Prabhupada's saying it's like a form of connecting subtly with a woman, or you could, sometimes we say subtle sex. But you understand. So they thought, on the basis of what Prabhupada said in his books, that he would give them permission, because they had gone to the temple president, and I think the temple president was reluctant. Or maybe the temple president said, you should write Prabhupada, because Prabhupada established this. How can I stop it? So it seems that they were justified on the basis of Shastra, because what Prabhupada said there was very, very clear, that renunciates should not hear the singing of a woman. And that